So, I wanted to do a little bit of a training on how you can focus on yourself and still find the right partner. Because I know what it's like when you go through that healing journey and it feels like every little bit of your life and every little bit of you is just really absorbed by healing and focusing on you and focusing on, your needs. And often when you come out of a toxic relationship, it can feel like there was never any space for you. And I wanted to sort of dive into, why you can still heal and still find the right partner without sacrificing anything. Okay. So let's actually talk a little bit about healing versus hiding. Because if we think about it, how do we heal? Okay. We heal by going through experiences that show up different things that aren't so great in our life where we're able to change or evolve those things. The truth is, if you're not exposing yourself to life, you're not going to be able to heal. Okay, you're not going to be able to heal fully. You can only do surface level healing, what you think is there versus what is actually there. And if I think about my own experience, so I went through some pretty deep stuff, healing from complex PTSD and all these different things, okay, as a result of going through some pretty traumatic experiences. Did this impact the way I looked at relationships and how I felt in a relationship? Yes. Yes, it did. Did it also help me to understand what I needed to heal in order to be able to enjoy a healthy relationship quicker? Yes, yes, it did. And I kind of want to go into this because when we think about what self-focus is, there's two different ways you can start focusing on yourself. And there's a healthy way and there's a not so healthy way. And I've done both. So the unhealthy way, okay, so I wanted to do the baseline. Both elements, you can be going through self-help books, you could be going to a therapist, you could be working with someone on those issues. You can do those things. Okay, so let's say both sides are doing those things, doing all those different things to heal. If you are isolating yourself, okay, and you are taking yourself out of life, you're not seeing your friends, you're not going out and dating, you're not, any time that you have to yourself, you're spending it alone. This is the perfect cocktail to start spiraling and start over obsessing over life. And this is where you can start feeling depressed. You can start feeling low. You can start feeling exhausted. You start sleeping more because everything is so focused on you that you're stuck. It's almost that feeling of just being in purgatory, that healing state where it's almost like that life that you really want. It's just, you can just almost reach it, but you can't. It's kind of staying stuck in this state because life is stagnant. Yes, you're doing all the work, but your life is staying still at the same time. That's not what good, healthy growth is all about. Healthy growth is about being able to do life at the same time, to move forward in life, enjoy everything in life, and guess what? Life is going to churn up some stuff because that's what life's all about. It's going to churn up these bits and pieces and go, hey, look at this. You need to look at this now. That's what life's all about. But it's also where you're able not just to focus fully on yourself all the time because that's exhausting and you're going to go in that spiral of doom. You want to be able to go ahead and still focus on you, but also focus on life too, where you're enjoying the right people around you, where you're moving forward in various aspects of your life, and you feel that momentum of moving forward. You're not going to have that feeling of moving forward if you stay stuck, just focusing on you and isolating yourself and all those different things. So let's actually talk about why people tend to avoid relationships during this time. This is a big one. So when we think about people when they start avoiding relationships and they're focusing on their healing journey, it's often this feeling of inadequacy. Okay. It's this feeling of being broken. It's this feeling of not being good enough. It's this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm working through so many things right now. If someone knew what I was doing or what I was working through, they're going to think I'm a terrible person, or I'm not right for them, or I'm going to be too much, all these different things. Truth is, that's not the case. But it can certainly feel like that. And if I'm looking down, I do apologize. I've got my lovely list of notes because I really want to dive into so many different areas today. So the fears tend to be like repeating past mistakes, okay? And you're only going to repeat past mistakes if you haven't understood what's going on, or what happened in order for you to go through that experience. And that's something that I work with my clients. We go through so many different things. So they've got an understanding of why they went through the situations that they did, how to avoid those situations in future, and how they can use that information to be able to find the right person they do truly want, and so they can enjoy a healthy relationship. So the other thing is, it's always coming back down to the self-belief. When you're healing, do you believe that you're ever going to be fully healed in life? I'll give you the quick answer. It's a no. And it's not because you're broken, it's because you're human, okay? You are always going to be learning so many different things through life, okay? And guess what? Part of your life, you're going to be healing, you're going to be learning, you're going to be doing all that alongside someone. So you want to make sure that you've got the right person around you where you're able to grow, where you're still able to heal, where you're able to do all the different things that you want to. The truth is, healing doesn't make you unlovable, it makes you human. Okay? We're all human. We're never going to be fully perfect. And it is getting out of that desire or that headspace that you have to be perfect or you have to be at this level to be able to go ahead and date. It's not true. Yes, there's probably a few things where I'd be like, right, okay, let's focus on these areas first, and then we can go out and date because you're in a place to be able to enjoy it more. But it's making sure you're focusing on the right areas and you're not putting your whole life on hold. Okay? Because the truth is, life is always going to do this. It's always going to have its ups and downs. And truth is, you're also going to want to meet someone who can, be a team member, be on your side when you're going through the ups and downs. Okay? It's not about using that person as a therapist or as an emotional crutch. No, that's codependency, that's toxic, that's no good. But it's about being able to understand that you're able to go through different aspects of your life and you can still grow and you can still have a healthy relationship. So I actually want to talk a little bit about, I'm going to use my own journey actually. I went through like some pretty horrific stuff, and I'm not doing that for the sympathy votes or anything like that. I want to say this because I want you to know that I'm not talking from the textbook. I'm talking from experience. I've gone through it. I understand the ins and outs and the headspace and all the different things that come with it. I went through something pretty horrendous, and I dealt with complex PTSD, a good level of dissociation, a lot of different things. I really thought, like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get back together? Am I going to be able to enjoy life again? Am I going to be able to get back on top of life again? So many things came up. And, the funny thing is, when I met my partner now, I was able to share these things, like, "Look, I'm going through this crazy ass stuff right now." Did I use him in order to, you know did I use him in the relationship as an emotional crutch? No, I owned my shit. I owned that this is the thing I need to work on. This is not because of you in any kind of way. This is stuff that I'm working on at the moment. I just want you to be aware, da, 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 da. And it's about the truth. It's about being real. It's about being honest, but it's about also taking accountability and ownership for your stuff. And I think when you're able to do that in a relationship, there's more space to be vulnerable. There's more space to create intimacy. There's more space to be able to create trust. And the beautiful thing is, as a result, you're able to communicate what you need better. So it's like, okay, look, I'm going through this at the moment. This is not for you to solve. Look, this is what I'm focusing on, da 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 da. And one of the things that he was so good at, and still is absolutely amazing at, is asking me the question, what do I need? And it's like, oh, perfect. Because from that, it's like, cool, you've got your validation, you've got acceptance, and you've also got support. And this, in turn, when it comes to healing, it allows you to realize that you're not in that old relationship anymore. You're not in that old space anymore. It's like the difference between healing and staying stagnant and healing and actually moving forward with life and feeling like you're taking control and you've got that momentum. And also that your life's improved because you've got the right people around you. And that makes such a difference. And the funny thing is, I'm not the only person that's experienced this. I've had clients with MS who, one of which is in a wheelchair and being able to go into a relationship where she had a partner who was like really caring, really understanding, really supportive, where she was able to, be her and be vulnerable and for the first time in her life ask for help. And that was a big deal for her. And she's got a fantastic relationship. She's super happy and it's fantastic. I've had other clients who've gone through toxic relationships and they've been able to go into a relationship where they've had the extra reassurance, they've got the understanding of what a healthy relationship is and what it should be. And it's helped them to realize, in real time through experiences rather than textbook, that what they went through in their past relationship wasn't right. And they can see the difference between what's healthy and what's not as a result because of the relationship they're in now. Because the truth is, a lot of these situations, when you go through a toxic relationship, you have a very, I'm going to use the word skewed, and it's not to be rude or anything like that. I'm just talking from my own experience and what I've seen. It's like you have a very skewed version of what love is. And this is why I don't like a lot of other dating coaches and stuff like that, because a lot of them have a very skewed view on what love is. It's like, oh, you need to be more feminine and you need to do this and you need to do. No, you don't. You were just in the wrong relationship. You had someone who didn't really understand you. Da, 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 da. But you can only really see that when you've been in the right relationship and you know what it's like to be treated as an equal, to be respected, to feel emotionally safe, to have trust, to have intimacy. It's a big difference. And, you can only believe it when you see it, when you experience it. Because otherwise you think, oh, only that happens in fairy tales. You can have a very skeptical mindset as a result of the things that you've gone through. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about one of the main things that's super important when it comes to healing. Okay, what I do actually believe is super important in terms of focusing on. And it's this, because this is often like the biggest stepping stone that I take my clients through when we start working together. And it's being able to trust what you are feeling. If you think about toxic relationships, they often tell you you shouldn't feel this way. Don't be so sensitive and all these different things. And these things can also go back to as far as childhood. If you shared your needs or what you were feeling, it was often deemed as wrong. And then you stop trusting your own feelings and trusting what your own beliefs and trusting all these different things about you and what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. And this is where it's so important to come back to you. What do you believe? What do you feel? And there's a difference between a triggered feeling, where it's like, okay, I need to isolate and push everyone away and just be on my own. And there's a difference between being really truthfully honest to you, like to yourself. It's like, do you feel like you deserve love? Do you feel like you need to punish yourself some more for going through a bad experiencing and isolating yourself? Do you have a fear around love? And that's okay if you do, but it's being honest with yourself and doing what you need to do in order to overcome that. Okay, this is about understanding you. This is about getting to the truth. When we think about healing, it's not about who can get the A star and who can regurgitate the things from the textbook or what the therapist wants to hear. It's about being truthful to yourself. It's about being truthful to what you actually desire and feeling comfortable with that. Because when we start diving into what we're actually feeling, we're giving ourselves permission. And when we give ourselves permission, we create more empowered movements and steps in life. Okay, I'm probably going a little bit deep here, but that's where you start. And a part of this empowered movement is living life the way you want to live life. not by the textbook of what you think you should do, because that's the first way to be able to spiral downwards, to feel miserable, and to almost try and measure your success and where you believe you should be. It's the quickest way to spiral down. When you get truthful with where you're at and what you're needing and what you're wanting, and being able to trust what you are experiencing, you're more likely to heal quicker. You're going to be kinder to yourself. You're going to be more compassionate. You're going to be able to give yourself what you need. As a result, when you go into a relationship, you're going to be able to communicate your needs better. You're going to be able to understand your boundaries better. There's a whole lot of shifting and growing and gaining momentum and entering the life that you do desire as a result. So this is like the power of being able to trust these things. This is about not about putting your life on hold and staying in this weird healing purgatory. This is about active healing. This is about healing through experience. This is about getting your life back in the quickest, most compassionate, most gentle, most effective way. Okay, so let's talk about the role of a healthy relationship. One thing I would say about a healthy relationship is that it actually gives you permission to be you. Because if you think about it, like I can guarantee if you've been in a toxic relationship before, you've never had the experience or the permission to be you without judgment, without being told off, without being told you're stupid or anything like that. In a healthy relationship, you can just be you and you can be loved for it and you can feel safe. And it's like one of the biggest steps to feel safe, to feel at ease, and also to really accept yourself. It's almost like being given permission to be you and to accept you for who you are. And that's what relationships all about. It's about being you, being loved for it unconditionally. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to be stuck in the freaking date, the healing purgatory. Because the only thing you're doing is you're just filling your therapist's wallet for, years and years and years whilst your life's not going anywhere. I don't want that for you. That's crap. Okay. I want you to be able to still love life and go through life and experience life and heal at the same time. Okay. It's faster. Okay. It'll cost you less as well. But this is about being able to live life, heal, and come back to you, healing you. Because if we think about it as well, the big part of healing is about accepting yourself, giving yourself permission, and also being able to do that around other people and recognizing the people that love you for who you are, who want the best for you versus the people that want the best for themselves. Now, when it comes to my clients, one of the biggest changes that we often experience is they will start to understand who really cares about them, who really wants the best for them, and who doesn't. And often it can be quite scary because they realize actually a lot of people just want to take from them all the time. And this is where you go through the transition of letting go of those people and you enter a zone of being able to connect with the right kind of people, the people that energize you, the people that you feel safe around, the people that accept you for you. And this is the perfect place to be able to date from. Because when you get to that place, you start to notice the difference between people that really care about you and love you for who you are and the people that want to change you. So when we have a look at connecting with the right kind of people, it's really important, not just about the emotional intelligence where people want the best for you. We're actually talking about compatibility too, which I'll probably talk about in another video. But that's a really important element to meeting someone for a long-lasting relationship. Emotional intelligence is for long-lasting relationships, but emotional intelligence is for healthy relationships, but compatibility is for long-lasting relationships. So I'm going to leave that there, but If you're ready to do some active healing and still live life and still enter a happy relationship where you're still able to heal and live life at the same time, then feel free to book a free love life analysis and we can talk about what that looks like for you so you're able to live life, love life, and actually meet the right partner for you. And this will in turn accelerate your healing, okay? And that's what I want for you. So, lots of love. I shall see you soon, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bye for now.